All right, let's start it. Hi guys, welcome to my 94th live stream.
Hello?
Hey Epic.
Hey, Brian.
Hey man, how are you doing? How's it going?
Doing good.
That's awesome. Um,
So this was as bad as you say it was?
it was really bad. It was a really bad episode. Because they, like I said in the Discord, they did the dumpster like 10 times over, like with multiple characters, and it was just fake. So like you know how in Fear they kind of set up a whole like a nuke going off with the end as the beginning group, and here like we see multiple characters, different viewpoints as the nuke is about to come down, and they all manage to find shelter. And not only that, but like the CRM actually takes the D characters away in the helicopter. Like we don't see where Isabel takes them, but Isabel takes certain characters from Fear. And it's just it was really forced, like convenient. I mean, like I don't know. It's just I don't want all the characters to just die in Fear, but the fact that everyone like no one really died from the nuke except Dakota, but she like chose that. You know what I mean? Like she chose to die. So like no one important died. We thought the nuke was gonna be like this massive thing, but it wasn't.
Because like I heard from Dan Megamat, they were saying how the wrap up of the end of the beginning group is very lackluster and very weak.
It kind of is. So hold on, let me just go on the analytics page. So they get rid of Teddy. Do you know who kills Teddy?
Dakota, I think.
Yeah, it's Dakota. She just shoots him in the chest and then shoots him in the head. It was not John Dory Sr. who, they kind of built up, like, for the past 4 episodes, they kind of built up John Dory Sr. to, like, he wants to kill Teddy. He wants to finish what he started, that kind of thing. But no, it's just Dakota. Like, it just doesn't feel right. And also, I think Dan had a problem with, so apparently June and John Sr. forgive Dakota for killing John. Like they, you know what I mean? Like it's just, you know how we constantly criticize Fear making characters like pacifists? Well, they kind of did that again. Like, and also everyone is split up by the end of the season.
Yes, I do. That is a problem with Fear ever since season 5. They were making people pacifist too much.
Yeah, and they did it again.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Daywalker. We're talking about the season 6 finale. I'm talking to Epic. He hasn't seen it, but honestly,
I haven't seen the episode, but I know what happens in it. I know Dakota dies. I know Teddy dies.
Dakota dies in some of the.
Like that,
Dakota
I know
dies
that
in a way that's the most unique I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like I know that John Sr. doesn't kill Teddy, which is very weird. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Hey Walker Dead and Dead Walker, thanks for joining. Looks like we have I'm not sure if anyone else is gonna come. I tried to invite Dan, but yeah, Epic.
Like that is one thing that didn't make sense was how John Sr. wanted Teddy to live.
Yeah, like the previous episode he said he was gonna kill him, and then now he just like gets in the bunker with June. And no joke, guys, like I don't understand what is up with people sometimes. Like for the past couple of months since Fear has been going, I have been praising the episodes, doing streams on it. I had some nitpicks here and there, and this is the only episode from Fear season 6 that I will say is bad, and I get called a hater because I didn't like an episode. Like, just like that. You know what I mean? It's just so ridiculous.
Well, there is a lot of problems with it. One thing is that it's supposed to take place within a span of 20 minutes because that's how long it takes for for the missiles to re-enter the atmosphere and the warheads to go off and touchdown. And it's supposed to take place within a span of 20 minutes. And the way that the episode is laid out is actually in kind of a unique way because they kind of do the thing from season 8 where they have like a black screen and they show like a thing of words.
Oh yeah,
like,
I
remember
forgot
like
to mention that.
yeah, like from season 8, it would say like Simon or it'd say like Rick, and then it would show that story.
Why did they do that?
What I thought they were doing was that like so they were like having like 4 separate stories, and it details their 20 minutes of just trying to get safe. And one thing I will say is that Sherry really annoyed me in this episode.
You know, that's weird. I actually kind of liked Sherry in this episode because she said that, like, I have been a major pain. Like, I was just constantly, like, putting my anger on you, Dwight, when I shouldn't have been. But I forgot to mention that because, I forgot to mention how they did the title cards, kind of like how they did with Season 8. I hated it in Season 8, and I hate it in this episode. I don't get why they think they have to do that. We understand... We're not dumb. We can understand this is a different character. Like, saying the words, I don't know.
I just think that whenever Sherry said that things, it was just kind of like, you think type of moment. Like, thank you for realizing that. You know, it's kind of like a thing to where it's like, well, that's what we've been saying. I mean, like, you know, and here's the thing, though, is that she talks about, you know, I mean, Dwight found this woman, and ever since he found her, he's just been getting crap from her ever since. And, you know, good Dwight, he's a good Samaritan's been sticking with it. I mean, he's been getting, you know, his heart broken ever since because she's just not ready. And it's kind of like, you know, well, why are you not ready? You know, you're in a perfect point in time. You know, you're not married to Negan anymore. You know, you don't have anything to worry about. You know, why don't we just, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just, I just don't like how she just put Dwight through all that, you know, because he went through so much just to try and find her. I mean, he almost killed himself.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Now that you've seen the season 6 finale, how did you feel about Fear the Walking Dead, the season as a whole, all 16 episodes? How did you feel about the season as a whole?
For me, it was really good. I liked it. I thought it was. I mean, here's the thing, crazy thing Fear does. They went from one of the worst seasons to one of the best, and that's something that's hard to do.
Yeah. Okay. It's better than season 5. Who's talking?
Oh my bad, Brian. I didn't know you were speaking.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this season, I will say it's good, but it's not great. It could have been great, but there were just so many disappointing and missed opportunities when it came with certain characters, and especially with this nuke in the end as the beginning group, they just wrapped it up so fast. Like, I don't understand why Fear does this. They just force a wrap up with all the villains just so they can get to the next villain the next season. Like, they don't keep.
I believe Strand is going to be the next villain. After the speech that he had after surviving the blast, it seemed like he kind of just lost his mind after that because he was just saying, like, after all this time, I'm still alive. It's time for a new beginning. I'm like, oh, crap. Is he really about to be the new villain? Like,
I'm like, why? When it doesn't even make sense. I'm like, okay, if you're going to have a character like Strand that's a big bad guy, why didn't you do it back in Fear the Walking Dead season 2? Like, why do it now?
He was just a nuisance at that time. He was just at that time. It wasn't really a villain. He was just he was Loki. He was just a snake. He was a backstabber. He was just more of a nuisance than anything because the big bad were the people that were just trying to kill everybody.
Hey, Dead Walker.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I've never been a fan of Strand. To be honest with you, I've never liked him since season 1.
You know, I think he's interesting because it's kind of like Loki in the Walking Dead universe, exactly, kind of, but it's just that you love to just hate him, you know. It's you know, it's just kind of like, you know, John Kreese from Cobra Kai. You just love to hate him. I mean, he just kind of makes you feel bad for him at some point, and then goes straight back to doing bad things just to piss you off again.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want Strand as a bad guy, to be honest with you guys. I don't want him. I mean, like I said, if they were going to do it, the best time to do it would have been in Fear Season 2. But they didn't. They didn't do that. They just went wherever they wanted with the story, and we saw what happened with Fear Season 3, where we got our villain for Fear Season 3. But in my honest opinion, I don't know. Like, I don't want the. I mean, if anyone should have been the villain in Fear Season 7, it should have been Riley.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
So, overall, what are your expectations, hype, or predictions for Season 7?
Massive time jump.
I think season 7 is going to be bad. I think it's
You wonder
very
what I
like
think's gonna happen?
sure.
I think Alicia's gonna die. I think. I think.
They're not gonna.
I think something bad's gonna happen to characters like Luciana and Daniel. I feel like Strand's gonna be the big bad guy. I feel like they're not gonna. I think they're not gonna do anything with the CRM. I think they're just gonna butcher Althea. I think
And
they're
that's
gonna
the thing
butcher
is that
away.
why are they
I don't
having
know. I don't want
season
any of
7?
that.
That's what I'm not understanding. Why are they having a season 7? What else can you do? I mean, this is probably, in my opinion, probably the best villain so far in Fear, because it's just the idea of what would a serial killer do if he was in the apocalypse, and just how he could make people follow him just because he's insane. And after that villain in the nuclear bombs, kind of like the 100, I don't know what else they could do besides CRM or Victor Strand.
Because I mean, now we know that Season 7 isn't the final season. We are going to be.
I hate that.
They're gonna stretch it out as long as they want to.
So greedy, man. I'm sorry, but AMC like it can't go on like this. It just can't. Yeah, Ken, you were saying something?
Brian, you're not happy it's getting a Season 8?
No, I'm not happy. Okay, like I don't want Fear to end because I hate the show. I hated everything about it. That's not it. I want it to end because there's not much story left. And
They need to end it in a good way, though, Brian.
Exactly. Like I want them to end in a good way, and they can't do that if they keep stretching out the story with no material. Like, okay, so now Morgan has a baby and Grace, they're alive. Why doesn't he take them out to Alexandria? So we're gonna get a massive time skip in season 6 to 7, and Morgan's still gonna be in the Texas area. He's not gonna be in Alexandria. I don't get it. Like, why?
Maybe I think eventually, if they do a time jump, maybe he could go to Alexandria and maybe they're all gone from Commonwealth. But I don't know what the timeline is of Fear and The Walking Dead.
I think it's just I think right now it's shortly after Rick was taken away.
Dang.
Yeah,
But
Fear
here's
right
the
now
thing,
is
that
around.
They have to have a time jump here because if you know Fear, they love plot holes. They love leaving the cliffhangers to your imagination. For example, Morgan's almost death, the dam explosion, the ending to season 1, the good man. I mean, I just don't think. I think that, in my opinion, I want them to do a time jump to where it's up to where The Walking Dead is, because I think that's what they've been wanting to do since the beginning. Because they did that so it could tie. They did that whole time jump between season 3 and 4 so it could cross, so Morgan could cross over. So I'm thinking that because here's the thing, there's no way they're going to be able to come out of that bunker anytime soon because there's radioactivity. There's a lot of radiation there. They can't come out for a long time. So what I'm thinking is they're going to be in there for a good 8 years, maybe even longer. But
oh my!
There's no way. Also, Morgan and Grace took the blast.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking they're just gonna have a time jump and they're just gonna skip all that and just make us realize, okay, they're alive. We don't know how they survived it all or what happened to them afterwards. But
I mean, they could do with the 100. Then, like throughout the season, you kind of see what they did during that.
Because I watched Egmat and
I mean,
even
Alicia Debnam carries in the show, they're gonna do something like that. I mean, she's more famous on the 100 right now than not anymore. She's probably more famous for Fear now, but now that since Alicia Debnam carries on there, they probably want to do 100 type of Easter egg type of like a callback to 100 where they're stuck in cryospaces for 12,000 years. But it's not gonna be like that, obviously. But since Alicia Debnam carries on that show, I'm sure they probably want to do some sort of stuff related to the 100. I mean, that's just. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that they didn't do any Supernatural callbacks with Negan, because since he's John Winchester from Supernatural, but I was shocked about that because I figured they would do something like that, but they didn't.
Hey guys,
Yeah, Epic.
like I watched Mega Matt his stream the other day, and all of them were like not happy about how just sloppy and nothing making sense in this episode. How like they ruined like Riley's character and all that.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
saw that stream. When I saw that, I'm like, yes, they completely got rid of Riley too soon. They should. I mean, John
Well,
Doe.
you know,
John
here's
Doe's
the
dad
thing,
for
though.
giving Dakota. I did not understand that. I'm like, why?
Same thing with Charlie though. Charlie killed off two characters that could have had potential, Nick and Riley.
I mean, with Nick it was different, but with Nick it was different, but with Riley. Nah, I don't know. It's 50-50 because but I agree with Riley. They could have done something there with him, and I feel like they failed at that.
hey guys, do you want to know what scene I really hated this episode? Okay, so when the CRM helicopter comes in, we have to assume it's Isabel, but for some reason, I don't know, her the helmet, we just couldn't see. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is when Wes took a minute to just spray paint the ground and then Riley's back, this is not the end. I was like, oh my goodness, it was so cringy. I'm like, there's a nuke that's about to go off, and it's gonna wash away that message and destroy Riley's body, and you're just gonna waste your time writing the
I
end.
think it
This
was
is not
more
the
of I
end.
think it was more of a symbolic thing.
I know,
for
but
him.
I know, but it's stupid. It still is stupid. Like,
Yeah, and
there's
here's
no
the thing
sense
with
of
the CRM.
urgency.
The reason why that they had the helmets on is I think that Isabel wanted to make it look more legit than just like, because I mean if she was in full uniform, it would look more legit if the CRM catch him or whatever.
I heard that wasn't Isabel, the actress.
Brian.
I mean, it wasn't Isabel. Then how are we hearing her voice if it wasn't her in that helicopter? It makes no sense. If it's not her, then who was it? Like really?
I mean the actress. It's not the actress, but it's the character.
No,
They couldn't get the actress.
she didn't say a single word. The voice that was
sounded
coming out of the walkie-talkie.
It sounded like it was her. Like it sounded like it was the actress voicing from the walkie-talkie, but we're thinking like, oh, it could be her because we're hearing her voice.
That was
I don't know.
Althea's voice on the radio.
Hey Brian.
Yeah.
But I know I asked in the Discord chat earlier if this episode was as bad or worse than Welcome to the Tombs, the season 3 finale of the main show.
I mean, this is one of the worst finales of Fear I think we've ever had.
Oh
Yeah, I agree there. I'm like, what? I'm like, first off, why have John Dory's dad forgive Dakota? I'm like, why have Rolly as spy when that makes no type of sense? If you ask me, it would make more sense for it to be Charlie because she's a spy. She has history of being a spy, so why not have it be her instead? But they just had it be Rolly out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, that makes no sense because didn't he join Sherry's group at some point in the show? I don't know. It makes no sense.
And also, we see once again how letting people go, look what happened. How many times does a character in The Walking Dead let someone live, let someone go, and it turns out to be bad for them? Dwight did it with Rolly, and Morgan did it with the Doomsday Group. I mean, it's just they should stop.
Well,
I guess
the theme of mercy is kind of a thing around the universe, I guess.
Yeah. Well, not in my story.
Hey,
That's one thing. Epic.
I definitely agree with you that characters letting someone go actually is a bad idea because we actually saw this happen in Fear before. Remember, season 1, Travis let that soldier guy go, and he came back, shot Ophelia.
Yeah.
Travis who?
Travis.
Fear season 1, Travis. Ophelia was dating that soldier. Travis let him go. He came back, shot Ophelia, beat up Daniel, and all that.
That was the best scene from that entire season. He just beat him.
I don't know. That part was stupid. I'm like, really? Why let him go? I mean, I don't know. Just looking back at it, I'm like, why let him go? Because it's obvious he came back and did this, which was terrible, which was shooting Ophelia. And I'm like, You
I mean, I
crazy
don't
dude.
blame them.
I'm
They
like, why?
tortured him.
I
They
don't know.
tortured him for
Fear
no
pulls their
reason. I would
punches.
have did the same
Yeah.
thing.
Fear always
I would have.
pulls its punches,
The
or at
reason
least
I
most of
brought
them.
it up is because it further proves Brian's point.
Sorry, Epic. My point about that you shouldn't let characters live because they're going to come back and be a problem.
Yeah,
Well, and here's some characters that they could bring back in the future. Taka and those the Indian tribe people, and also you can bring back Proctor John, which I feel like that character was very misused because they could have done a lot more with Proctor John.
Dead Walker.
Yeah,
I don't think they'll be bringing back Taka Walker because the actor he said he didn't like how unrecognizable the show was and stuff.
well, that's just because it was unrecognizable because of the gray filter.
And
Hey,
the showrunners, the lack of new showrunners, because the new showrunners changed the show completely. They killed off Nick and supposedly Madison, and people are like, "What are you doing?" And then they're like, "You know what? At this point, we're just done watching the show."
yeah. Hey, guys.
Because I agree with what somebody said. Somebody said, like, "Oh, if Dave Erickson stayed as showrunner for Fear Season 4 and had Proctor John as a big bad guy, that would have been way better." And I agree, it would have been way better than the shitty season we got. I mean, sure, season 4A was good, but it wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as Fear Season 3.
Yeah, Dan fixed that in his rewrites. If you guys haven't checked
Yeah,
out
I
Dan's
saw that,
rewrites,
and I love that so much. I'm actually doing more things with Proctor John, actually, in my series, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, if you see my Walking Dead What If series, I had Proctor John return. So,
I
guys,
know, but I mean, do you think that Proctor John could come back? Because I don't think he's in Texas. I don't think that.
I mean, back in Fear the Walking Dead season 3, they mentioned something about him going to Houston, Texas. So maybe there's a possibility he's in Texas, but in another town. I mean, at this point, I'd rather have Proctor John as the big bad guy in Fear season 7 than have Strand be the big bad guy. Like, really? I don't know. If you're gonna bring back somebody, bring back Proctor John.
The one thing that I don't understand about this entire second half is how they've been like dangling Madison in front of us, saying she's gonna return, and the showrunners are like, maybe she's not dead, and then they kind of, now aren't bringing her back and stuff. Just like, what are they doing?
Oh yeah, and the main show's doing it kind of with Dwayne Jones a little bit. Like they've been kind of hinting at Dwayne Jones' return, which, in my opinion, would make no sense. I want it to happen, but it would honestly make no sense because if it literally said on the chalkboard in Morgan's place, Dwayne got bit on this day, so it's kind of like like I don't know what the term is, but it kind of just like wipes. That would be kind of like wiping away everything he said and just being like, oh, what he said was a whole bunch of shit. Like.
I definitely agree, Dead Walker. Like, Dwayne returning would kind of like ruin season 3, episode 12 clear.
Yeah.
I
And-
mean,
It would also make it would
And
also
plus, like,
it would
Dwayne
also
has
kind
to
of
be
make
dead,
Morgan
like-
look even more crazy though. It would make Morgan look way crazy because it would kind of make it seem like he just lost his mind, not by his son's death, he just lost his mind. Like that's it. Like
Dead Walker.
yeah.
The reason I think Dwayne is dead is because you can clearly see the pain in his voice, the pain in his eyes. He just sounds like devastated.
Andy described it, like graphically described it.
Yeah, but if you
Okay,
saw here's Negan, Negan kind of references what Morgan said as in like a different type of meaning and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, okay. Like when he said like you see red, he's like, that actually doesn't mean you killed anybody. It actually means that like you're just really mad. You just see the world through blood, and I'm like, I wonder why they said that.
Hey guys, what do you think now about Morgan's line? At the beginning of the season, he said Morgan Jones is dead. You're dealing with someone else now, and how that was way. With the fans, we took that line way too seriously. Like the showrunners really misled us with that line.
I mean, that if you ask me, that was kind of dumb because I'm like, okay, why have Morgan say this if it's not going to be in the second half? Like, why have him say something if it's not going to be impactful at all? That's what I'm saying. I feel like these showrunners are misleading the fans. Like they don't care. They don't care about the fans that much that they're misleading them, and that's what I'm getting the vibe from. Like
Hey,
they don't
guys.
care
I
about
wonder
the
which
fans to the point where okay, we're gonna mislead you guys to thinking like, oh, Morgan's line where he said Morgan Jones is dead, you're doing with somebody else now, is misleading, or them teasing
Hey,
that oh
guys.
Madison's gonna come back. Like really?
I wonder which
I don't know. They're
showrunner is
misleading the
worse than
fans.
this. I wonder which showrunners are worse, the ones in Fear or Gimple.
Hey, guys.
They both are. Because
I think
whenever I
Gimple's
see Ian and
worse.
Andrew, I see Scott Gimple
Hey,
because they
guys.
keep doing shitty moves.
Yeah, Gimple just made one big mistake that really pissed almost everybody off, which was Carl's did.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Carl should never die.
Yeah, Epic.
I definitely agree with what you said. Me personally, I don't like that line now because, like, the season premiere, like, they're making you think that she's saying that to Virginia because he's going to be the one to kill her, but then we find out June kills her, so that line is just obsolete now.
I think what he meant by that was that, like, the Morgan Jones you know as in, like, this peaceful person who doesn't kill anybody is dead. Morgan Jones, I'm not afraid to kill anybody, is now alive, type of thing.
But yeah, that's not true. That's been proven bull because if that was the case, Morgan would have killed Virginia himself in Fear the Walking Dead season 6 episode 9. If that was really the case, Morgan would have killed Virginia, but instead he was hesitating. Like,
Yeah,
really?
they went right back. They went right back to.
I'm like, what the?
We want the killing to stop. We want the killing to stop. You know, all the Rick speech. You know, and that speech that he had at the. It was like I think it was in Things Left to Do. That speech reminded me of Rick's speech from season 8, and I like that they did that. But it was kind of like, you know, kind of boring. Kind of like we've already heard it like many times before. So like.
True, but then again,
Brian.
it's like, why would you bring this up
Hey,
now?
Brian.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Would you call this entire second half, season 6B, very hit or miss?
There are definitely some misses in the second half, especially the finale. I don't know what it is. Like, Fear always, for the most part, has pretty good first halves, and then the second half they just botch it. They introduce a new villain, and then just kind of wrap it up.
Can I
poorly.
tell you something? Can I tell you guys something? And this doesn't mean to be spoilery. It's just that the Spoiling Dead fans that said that like that Teddy, the guy who plays Teddy was spotted on filming. So I'm wondering if it's like hallucinations that there's people like get hallucinations from or something like that.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. And not to cut you off, but I don't think that's true because I heard in like an interview, John Grover, the actor that played Teddy, signed on for 4 episodes. So him being in season 7 wouldn't really make sense because then he died in the finale.
Yeah,
or
but
everybody was hallucinating. If they were hallucinating, why did they just show it on camera?
Probably Alicia. I'm thinking Alicia might have hallucinations on what he said about how she's like the beginning.
I heard Alicia's leaving or wants to leave at least, which makes sense because she was barely in the season.
That's just a rumor. Just keep in mind, it's not confirmed or concrete by any means.
Yeah,
keep
but she
mind,
wasn't in the season that much. She's not really working on anything else, I don't think.
Ruben Blades will keep her on the show, trust me, because she's really good friends with Ruben Blades.
And with Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, and Coleman Domingo. I meant to say, yeah, she's really good friends with Coleman Domingo and Ruben Blades and all the other characters. It's kind of like a family for her. I mean, she's really good friends with a lot of them. I just don't think that they'll let her leave like that without a good exit, because I feel like that they're setting her up to be the main focus of Fear in the future. And I feel like that what Teddy said to her was kind of more symbolic to the show going forward. Like, you are the one to rebuild this world. You are the person for the show type of thing, you know?
I don't know. I just get this weird feeling that in Fear Season 7, they're gonna retcon that and say bullshit. Like say like, oh, that we're gonna retcon that and have her die anyway. Because then again, look what these new showrunners did. They killed off Nick in a dumb way. They killed off John Dory in a dumb way. It wouldn't surprise me if they killed off her in a dumb
And
way.
here's the thing: is I thought John Dory Sr.'s entire story this season was just I thought that it was going to end with him killing Teddy and him dying in the process, and that was going to be the end of the John Dory saga. I thought it was perfect because he basically kills the person that ruined his life beforehand, and then he's just kind of like finishing what he started, type of thing. And I for real thought that he was going to kill Teddy because I feel like it was more fitting. He was the character that was affected by him the most, and I just
If
thought
I was
that was
rewriting the finale, not to cut you off, but if I was rewriting the finale, I would have John Dory's dad kill Teddy, and I would have Dakota redeem herself instead of having her be crazy. I mean, sure, she killed John, but if it was me, I would have been if I was rewriting, I would have her had her redeem herself in a really good way.
I saw a movie idol that he said that he wanted to where like maybe Dakota stands out there like waiting for the blast, and at the last second she tries to get in the bunker and then dies. As in at that last second she realized she redeems herself by trying to live, and then doesn't and dies in the process. That might be a cool thing to add it on in there. Is that like she's ready to die. She believes Teddy is right. This is the end. And then at the last second, she tries to get inside the bunker and fails to do so. As in, like saying, "Okay, she finally gets it, but she died anyways."
Yeah.
Hey,
Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay, like a couple of things with this episode. One, are they just going to completely ignore the radiation issue? Like, because they already ignored how they survived the bunkers. Plot
I think they're
armor,
gonna
man.
ignore it.
Plot armor.
I think they're gonna ignore it because it's not surprising that they have ignored stuff like this in the past. Like look what happened with I don't know, like the cliffhanger. They didn't immediately show who saved Morgan, and then it was revealed to be Dakota, which in my opinion, that was just ridiculous. Because why have it be Dakota? Because if it was Dakota, why didn't she just reveal to Morgan right away that hey, I'm the one that saved you? That made no sense.
Last season, we thought Alicia was gonna die because she got Walker blood that was contaminated on her face, and they made it slow mo too, as in like trying to taunt us. Like they slow moed the scene where the blood just splattered on her face, and I was just like, "Oh no!"
They were just trying to troll us. They were trolling us.
Dead Walker, you have to remember, Fear Season 5 is just utter garbage.
Oh yeah, it is. They didn't really do anything. I mean, the first half was just set of them just trying to get out of that valley. I mean, I did like the hot air balloon thing. That was kind of funny.
I mean, yeah, but then again, it's Fear the Walking Dead, not Morgan and Friends.
Yeah.
The show should be focused around, in my opinion, the show should be focused around Alicia and not a Walking Dead character like Morgan. I mean, don't get me wrong, Morgan's a great character, but Fear didn't start with him. It started with the Clark family.
They really wanted to
Alicia
make
Clark is class Clark.
You have to remember, Fear Season 5 has that damn selfie death.
What?
Yeah, I remember that. The one on the bridge where it was the girl's brother, and he's just like, this is why we are the best, and then he just falls in the bridge when the freaking camera's just recording the entire thing.
Like, yeah, that death will tell you just how god awful Season 5 was.
Up here, hell yeah.
That's pretty
Season 5 honestly was one of the best seasons in the franchise, honestly. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Way.
We're talking about Fear. We're talking about Fear and why the finale was,
I don't
I'm
see how.
sorry, Ken. I disagree. I hated every moment of that season.
No,
I mean, it's not as bad as back half of Season 4, though. Back half of Season 4 had one of the worst villains in history, which was Laura. No interesting thing about her at all. I mean,
you mean Martha?
yeah, Martha. Sorry.
Yes, Martha. I can't stand that character. I'm glad Dan didn't
Her
add her.
Her whole purpose was to just symbolize what Morgan would have became if he never, like, changed. But that was stupid, I think.
Yeah, but she believed that like if you died, you're stronger if you're a walker. Well, you got to think about that because if you're a walker, you're pretty stupid. I mean, you're not strong at all. Your entire body's just rotting slowly. And you know what's funny is I like to hear these theorists who talk about how well at this point the zombies shouldn't even exist anymore because they should have already dissolved and everything like that. Because aren't they technically dead? I'm sure you've heard that stuff before, right?
Yeah, that they said like, oh, if they didn't show the body, then that character's not dead. Which, in my opinion, it's still true. But with characters like the Wayne, it's different because if they confirm a character like that is dead, and if they don't bring that character back, like say in the next episode or in the next season or two, then yeah, that character's gone.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
I mean, they already broke the fourth wall by bringing back Cole.
Cole?
Yeah.
Yeah, they broke the fourth wall because on Talking Dead they confirmed he died. Same with Madison, but the new showrunners broke the fourth wall by bringing him back in season 6, episode 14, and a lot of people are like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, Epic.
How did you feel about Dakota's death?
It was good, but the problem is, it's like, how come they show the nuke going off realistically with her, but then everyone else, they have like 10, 20 seconds to hide, get cover, or just whatever. Like, I don't get that. That makes my head scratch.
Wait, they didn't. Wait a minute. Cole wasn't really confirmed to be dead. We never really understood. We actually never really heard what happened to all these people inside that stadium. I mean, I thought
if they show that specific character on Memoriam, then supposedly that character is dead. But they broke the fourth wall by bringing that character back by showing that character on Talking Dead because they showed Cole on Talking Dead just like they showed Madison on Talking Dead.
Well, what about Walking Dead season 6? They confirmed that Glenn was dead in the thank you because what happened is that like they even showed like Glenn's death in the credits. Like they even removed his name from the title credits the next episode. But then they brought him back as in kind of like the dumpster thing. But they actually said like he was dead. Like after the episode, like even on Talking Dead, they were talking about it.
I still think
I mean, that was a fake out, so that doesn't really that doesn't really count because that was a fake out. They even in a recent article I was reading, they even said that it was a fake out. It wasn't really supposed to happen.
Yeah, but
it was just a fake out.
Yeah,
hey,
but
guys. Hey guys.
Yeah.
So which finale is worse, this finale or the finale for The Walking Dead season 7?
Season 7
The season 7 finale was kind of like actually kind of a breather because for the entire season they just were kind of like doing nothing and just kind of like obeying what Negan did, and then the final episode was kind of like the intro, like the beginning of the war, like it was the first big battle.
That episode is so underrated. I loved it when it came out. Like, I don't know why people don't. The season is terrible, but the finale is probably the best episode.
Yeah, whenever Shiva came and jumped out of there, I jumped out of my seat, man. I was like, when Shiva came jumping,
stuff was good too.
Sasha's death, it was kind of like, I think it was a little bit, she kind of overdosed on medicine. I feel like that. I didn't think it was a good idea to put that in the show because
I mean, kind of she technically didn't really.
It is kind of a touchy subject for some people, though.
I mean, true, but then again, you have to think about it. She didn't really take any medicine. She took a pill, like one of those pills that can kill you. She took that, and I'm like, really, you're gonna die from that? And to be honest with you guys, I didn't really care for Sasha in the Walking Dead show.
Sasha's really the reason why the group is still here. If you think about it.
I mean, true, but then again, there's also characters like Carol and Daryl and Abraham that are why Rick and the others are still here.
No, but I hate to say this. The only reason why they brought Sasha back in what comes after was because she was in Star Trek at that time and she was big at that time. Because it should have been Carl in the field of dead bodies that should have stood up. It should have not been Sasha. It was just kind of like, what are you doing here? It was like, what?
I feel like they should never killed her. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. If you're gonna kill her, give her a satisfying death. Her death on the show was not satisfying at all. I did
It
not
wasn't
like it. I was not a
satisfying.
fan of it.
It was still like. Never mind.
She had Holly's death though. She had Holly's death from the
I wish
comic.
they would have kept that like the whole thing.
I
Like,
mean,
thought,
yeah, but it was remixed a little bit. I don't like how they did it.
I thought what they were gonna do was Rosita. They were gonna do exactly like they did the comics, and then Sasha would have been Rosita, but then she, something like that. I wish they would have did that with somebody. That would have been a little bit better.
I mean, what happened with Holly in the Walking Dead comics was Negan killed her off camera. He put a bag over her head and was like, let's trick Rick and the others by giving her back, thinking like, well, she's alive. But when they remove the sack off her head, it's actually her not alive. It's her as a walker, and she bites somebody. I feel like they should have went with that in the show.
Yeah, hey, I gotta ask you, what do you think happened? What do you think do you think Leia will return, and what do you think she'll return as? Like, I believe she's a Reaper. I believe that she became a Reaper. I just think it makes sense.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in this episode you hated?
How everyone found convenient shelter. How when the nuke went off, everyone was pretty much fine in terms of the radiation, but also the blast. And the one with Strand, that was so bad. Like, not even the glass broke, and the nuke was right there. He wasn't even blinded by it.
I mean, they're pretty far away from what I heard. I thought that they said, like, in the Spoiler Dead fans that the Strand's far enough away, was a building far away enough to not be affected. I was like, damn, he must have traveled pretty far on that horse.
There's no way. If you can see the missile landing, you're not far enough.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what my dad told me. My dad told me that. He's like, if you can see it, there's no way you can survive it. Like, he says for the impact, he's like, boom, right there. You get radiation right there. Just by looking at it, you get radiation. That's how bad it is.
I know. My brother and I looked at this. They completely did the nuke thing unrealistic. And some people say, oh, it's a zombie fantasy show. Stop thinking too much into it. Well, if that's the case, then Rick can just fly away from the CRM. He could just come on, like, it needs to be realistic. The zombies are the only thing that should be fake, like, because if that's the case, then Rick should be able to fly out of the CRM like Superman or something like that and kill everyone who's a threat to the group. Maybe even, he could, instead of Rick should fly to the nuke and send it back to space. I'm just saying, if this is what the fans say, that it's a zombie show, they can do anything they want, then that can happen. Rick can just show up out of nowhere and take the nuke right in the face, and then everyone survives. They might as well do that, because everyone surviving the nuke like this in this episode is just as fake.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Can I just make sure? Because so is that like whenever Dwight and Sherry were in the bunker, my dad was like, he's like, dude, there's smoke got in there. All that smoke. He's like, that smoke's gonna just get you radiation right there. He's like, there's no way you're gonna be able to survive. He's like, you're dead. Like,
he might be a Nightblood from the 100.
Because like smoke got inside the bunker, so and that's contaminated. And then whenever Morgan and Grace are under there, they're like, there's no way they can survive that. It's like you literally, like, the debris on top of you just give you radiation, like, boom, right there, And then if you like see it, like, if you're far away and you even see it, like my dad was like, boom, right there, just looking at it right there as it hits, you got radiation, like.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I don't know. They just did the whole radiation thing is retarded.
Yeah, I mean, but what can you do? I mean, what do you think Grace and Morgan are gonna actually do? Because obviously they're not gonna die because Grace was spotted filming, but it's just that, like, I just don't understand what they could do right there. I mean, two of them just went off and they barely survived the first one.
Yeah, Morgan and Grace, they're gonna be, obviously a couple. One thing I did like, I do like the character interactions this episode. Like, Morgan and Grace, the way they're talking and like how they confess that they love each other. I like that. That's great. Lenny James and the actress from Grace, it's fantastic. Their acting is amazing.
They both did a good job in this.
Karen David and Lenny James did a great job, if you ask.
Absolutely. This scene. What? Wait, who is that?
Karen David, she plays Grace on Fear.
Oh, no. Someone said garbage. Someone just said garbage just now.
Cool.
You guys didn't hear
Oh,
that?
someone in the chat. No.
Yeah, who said that?
I don't know.
I heard that too.
Yeah, and just the way. What do you guys think about Rachel and baby Morgan? That scene, and then how she comes back as a walker, and they just find her. So it's
Did
absolutely.
you ever see the movie? Did you ever see the movie called Cargo?
I didn't, but I saw Ronnie Hayes' live stream, and I watched the scene he showed, and yeah, it is kind of
It's
a
a homage
copy
to
of
that.
it. Or I mean, I guess I guess that's not the issue I have with it. It's just the fact that Rachel was by herself. Like at the end of episode 15, she was with the group. Then she was just by herself. And then when she was trying to pull the tire, I'm like, no, stop. I already know what's going to happen. You're going to crush your leg. And it just happens. It's so predictable. And then when she
Yeah,
kills
I mean,
herself,
like if they care about this baby so much, why'd they leave her on her own?
Yeah, hey guys.
Oh, hold on, Epic. I just want to say one quick thing. So like we get the sense in the beginning that like Rachel is like very far away, but then when she ties herself to Rufus and all that, she comes back. Like it's only been a few minutes. Like I assume after she becomes a walker, she only walks for a few minutes, and then Morgan and Grace find the baby. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, wow, she was only a few minutes walk away. Like I feel like she died for nothing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just
They did die for nothing, and I'm like, why kill off this character off screen? Especially if you're giving, I don't know. In my opinion, they should have done more with her because, in my opinion, from a minor character, for like a minor Fear the Walking Dead character, she was the only one I cared for, and then they killed her off in a dumb way. In my
Okay,
opinion,
but here's the thing. I think the Walking Dead universe loves that the big characters have a child that's not even related to them live on and become like the embodiment of what they were, but there's not even related to them. So it's just like I think it's kind of funny to think. It's just that, like I think the Walking Dead like the two big characters in the two main shows just have a child that's not even related to them, but symbolically, yes, technically, like
I know what you
technically.
mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like half the characters with babies are raising a baby that's not theirs.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah. I mean, it's weird. Do you think Grace will actually like survive the show at this point? Because do you think that they want to do that to Morgan again, like kill her off?
I think Grace is going to survive a while. I think she's going to be around towards the end of the show, whenever that is.
I thought she was going to die of childbirth. I really did. And then I honestly thought at the end of season 5 she was going to die from radiation, and that we were going to see Crazy Morgan again. Because there have been times where I thought that she was going to die her death. Like they even said it's going to get dark. Well, they did get dark. They showed the stillborn baby in front of us. Like that's nothing The Walking Dead would ever do. They didn't.
Yeah, I remember they said this was
sure, but
season, but that's the only. I don't know. That was like the only thing that was really.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Like I know Mega Matt in his streams I watched a while back. He said that he watched the scene where Rachel like dies, gets her leg crushed, and he says that's one of the worst openings to a season or to an episode ever.
I wish I watched
so
his
true.
stream. I mean, it was predictable. Like I really got the sense. Like I saw the missile coming down. Like it looked close. It looked like she had 10 seconds left, but then she just has plenty of time to prepare herself as a walker, kill herself, turn, and then walk all the way back to the sub with a bad leg as a walker. And I'm just like, I still don't get it. Like I thought the opening was literally going to be her death, her and the baby's death. Like I'm not saying I wanted it to happen, but I'm just saying the way they presented like the nuke is just. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, is that like, I just want to say this is that like the way that they did that, like my dad was like, no logical person will ever. He's like, no logical person. No, he's like, every logical person knows you cannot change a tire without using a freaking like, hey, you cannot do that by yourself. Like, that was pretty stupid. And then the second thing, he's like, there's no way she can walk on that after that. Like, there's no way she can walk on that. Like after it was broken, a compound fracture. You know how sensitive your bones are, like you would not be able to walk. You wouldn't be able to even touch your foot to the ground. I mean, that there's no way that she would have been able to walk that easily. I mean, that was pretty unrealistic in my opinion.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So like, yeah, this episode was not perfect. It was not a perfect finale. It had errors.
I mean, it is probably the best finale we've had for Fear in a while. I think.
I mean,
I
to be
don't-
honest with you
I don't
guys,
know.
this finale was just ridiculous. I do agree with some people when they say it's all over the place and have things that don't make sense, which is true. I mean, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, this finale is ridiculous. Rachel dying makes no sense.
Which finale in The
Why
Walking
would you-
Dead is actually the best in your opinion? Which finale is the best in your opinion for The Walking Dead?
For me,
Uh, Wait,
It's
finale
tough.
for
I would
Fear.
have to say not
It-
season 9 because I did not like the season 9 finale. That I think that episode was just random.
We got
If you
Snow,
ask me,
man.
I would have to say the season 4 finale when Rick is in that thing and where he's telling Tara, Bob, Abraham, and the others, where he's like,
Yeah.
they asked for the wrong people, and I'm like, oh snap, we got badass Rick in the house.
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean,
that.
here's the thing though. The best season finale, the best season premiere of all time has to be No Sanctuary. It has to be.
Oh yeah.
Dead
For a
Walker.
premiere, hell yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Dead
yeah,
For a
Walker.
premiere,
Premiere
yes,
is-
yes.
For me, the best season finale for me has to be season 10.
Season 10. Yeah, Here's
Oh.
Negan was definitely one of the best episodes.
Oh
I've seen in a while.
yeah, that's another one.
Oh, that's one thing. I wish because I wasn't here, but I honestly think that's the most overrated episode in Walking Dead history. I did not like it at all. I really didn't like any of them.
Well,
I
I mean, I like the Here's Negan episode. The Here's Negan episode was definitely not what I was thinking it was gonna be. I'm here thinking like, oh, they're gonna have the Here's Negan episode, goofy, retarded, so focused on TV material. When it wasn't that, it wasn't what I was really expecting. Like that scene where Lucille gives Negan the famous comic book jacket, him meeting Laura, him
It was actually
being like
originally
enough's
supposed to be
enough.
Dwight.
I actually liked those scenes.
It was actually they said that it was originally supposed to be Dwight, but because of filming schedules, they couldn't do it, so they had it be Lawyer. So really, the Dwight was the one who gave him the bat, and that would have actually kind of added on to more of like how he's more guilty of his. I think they should have really done that because it would have made him look like he's actually really the reason he killed Glenn. Because Dwight was the one who gave Lucille the bat, but that didn't happen. It was Laura. I mean, that was another good character to bring back because she was not a bad character at all. I mean, she was kind of weird, but
She was a good character, but she was too underused. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Angela Kang didn't want to do anything with her.
Hey, guys, I think Chosen joined. Hey, you there,
Dead
Chosen?
Walker.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you want to talk a little bit?
No, I don't have anything to say right now.
Oh, okay.
Dead Walker.
yeah.
I was actually talking about episode 16 of season 10.
Yeah, I know. Oh, 6. Oh, okay, well, that was kind of like I mean, I didn't really consider that the finale anymore. The finale of season 10 really is Here's Negan if you're being technical, but in all reality, that would have been the last season if they wouldn't have been like, oh, COVID happened. We're going to add on more seasons just because we feel bad,
Yeah. Hey guys. Okay. So next week, I really want to do a everything about the CRM stream. If you guys want to join.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely talk about that. I love the CRM.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm gonna have to think about that.
I mean, we can still
I don't
talk
know.
about.
I mean, if we're going to be talking about CRM,
And we can give
we
our
could Daniel-
predictions. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm like, oh, if we're gonna be doing like a CRM stream, should we talk about the possibility of maybe Daniel going to the Rick Grimes movies?
Oh yeah,
Because I
definitely.
feel
We can
like
have
they're gonna bring him
predictions.
back.
We can talk about predictions and what we want to see as well. Absolutely.
I think Daniel, in my opinion, really just needs to die,
What did you
Why
guys?
would you think that? I mean, he's not even a bad character.
He's just
I know.
underused.
I feel like Luciana's lived her purpose. Luciana should die, honestly, too, because I just don't see anything really happening with her.
I honestly don't know
with
what her
Luciana,
purpose
they're
is.
promising big things with her in Fear season 7. That's why I don't think she's gonna die. I feel like they're gonna have her until the very end.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I feel they should have killed off Luciana because, like Nick died. Like they pretty much did that with Enid. Like after Carl died, they had Enid be a Pike victim. They should have done that with Luciana.
I mean, they didn't do that. I'm glad they didn't do that because when Enid died, that just pissed me off. Because Enid's death made no sense. It just came out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, you have Enid being a bigger character in season 9, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested to see where this goes because I'm actually one of those people who like the Enid character. And I'm like, okay, why not have her in season 10? Why not have her be the next Carl?
Here's a character that should have died a while back. Tara. Tara should have died a long time ago.
I mean, Tara's already dead. I mean, she was a good character, but again, Scott Gimple didn't do anything with her character. That's what pissed me off about Scott Gimple as showrunner, is because they did nothing with Tara. They gave her garbage material in The Walking Dead season 8, and it was just ridiculous.
Oh, hey
After
guys.
season 8, I thought her story. After season 8, I thought her story was over.
Hey, Walker dead.
Yeah.
The only reason they killed off Enid was because of Carl. Carl died. They had nothing. They didn't know what to do with Enid, so they killed her off.
No, they confirmed in an article that Angela Kang wanted to kill off the character. Like they confirmed in an article that that they called in the actress into a meeting with Angela Kang, and Angela Kang was like, "Oh, I'm confident that this character's gonna die. That this character's gonna get out." Like, and in one of the interviews, she was crying because, again, she didn't want to leave the show. So. In a way, Angela Kang technically got rid of her character by killing her off. Which, in my opinion, it was a shame because they could have had her as the next Carl. They could have had her become this big character. Like, imagine her interacting with Judith and Rick Grimes more, and have her and Daryl becoming friends. That would have been way better. That would have been fantastic.
I mean,
imagine her and Judith teaming up.
Well, here's the thing: Enid and Luciana were basically the what was left of Carl's vision. Besides, Rick, but not Carl's vision. I mean, Carl. I mean,
Luciana's different. But with Enid, they could have done more with her. I'm like, okay, if we're not gonna have Carl on the show anymore, do more things with Enid. Do more things with Carl.
Yeah, the difference between Luciana
do more things with Jesus. Do more things with Maggie, and I feel like they failed at that.
They did.
No, I feel like so many missed opportunities in my opinion.
But here's the thing:
I feel like if somebody else,
if Carl was still on the show, man. If Carl was still on the show, I feel like they should have had a love triangle between Enid, Lydia, and Carl. That would have been an interesting storyline type of thing,
Hey, you guys know
I don't know how I feel about that. What?
Is that true? Because this whole time,
it's true. It is true. I'm not making this up. It's true. That from that article I read, that's legit. You can't really make something like that up.
Yeah.
No, in my opinion, they should have never got rid of her. They should have made her they should have had her become the next Carl. If you're not going to have Carl on the show anymore, have her be more important. Have her as the next Carl. And again, they didn't do that. They failed at that. Like they do with the whole Maggie thing they're trying to do season 9. They failed at that because I feel like they rushed her storyline because the actress was leaving the show.
Yeah, and here's another thing: is that they should have never killed off.
I always thought that the reason Enid died was because of Carl being gone.
I mean, that's part of a reason. But I don't disagree as to why you say something like that, because I agree with what you just said. Like, oh, if Carl never died, then yeah, Rick and Enid would never they both, Rick and Enid would still be on the show. Andrew Lincoln would have never left and Enid would never died. I agree there with that. I think when they killed off Enid and Tara, and when they got rid of Rick, I feel like that's when some people were like, okay, let's not watch the show anymore, because without like a character like Rick, then what's the point?
Hey guys, okay, so there was a character missing this episode. Do you know what character was missing in the season 6 finale? Yes, Alicia, but there was one character that we didn't get to see at all, or even his or she's perspective on the nuke.
Althea?
Close, but it's another character we don't see this episode. And here's the thing. I'll give you a hint. Him surviving is impossible. more than the others?
Oh,
Hey Brian.
Hold
I
on, hold on.
don't know who you're talking about. Who can it
Wendell.
be?
Wendell.
Hey,
Oh yeah, Wendell.
Wendell.
How is he
I
alive?
don't know. I feel like he's gonna be. They cut him off screen because they didn't have him at all in the Walking Dead in Fear the Walking Dead season 6.
I heard
I'm like,
they couldn't get
why
the
is
actor.
that? Why didn't they have him?
I heard they couldn't get the actor to film. And then when I heard that, I'm like, just delay the episode a little bit, like filming wise. Just I don't know, but like if he actually survives the nuke somehow by himself, and this is a guy, I'm sorry, but he's in a wheelchair. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call it unrealistic.
For some reason on the wiki
I'm like,
they have
why?
him listed as returning. For some reason they had that he's in season. For some reason I guess they confirm he's in season 7.
I don't believe this. Like, I'm sorry. This is why I want to drop Fear so bad. Like this season, this finale was so bad. But like I said, I wouldn't drop Fear unless they killed off Alicia. That's where I draw the line. So I'm gonna.
That's
fall
probably.
for
I
it.
think that's where they're leaning to. Honestly.
hey Brian.
Yeah.
Me personally, I actually might check out season 7 because the one person that was keeping me away from Fear is now dead, Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have done something special with Dakota, like have her redeem herself, have her say have a scene between her and June, and have Dakota crying, and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that your husband," and then June
too annoying.
would notice
She's so
that, and then
annoying.
Dakota be like, "I'm sorry because if it wasn't for me, your husband would still been alive. Like your husband's not here because of me."
But they
She's
did-
still
They
annoying.
should
She's
have done
so
something like
annoying.
that.
That's what they did with Charlie.
She's
I
so
mean,
annoying.
With Charlie, it didn't really work because with Charlie, she did nothing for the group. She did
I know,
nothing
but
for the group. She's just there,
But I know, but they still did the same story as with Dakota. Like if they did that with Dakota, maybe Dakota would do nothing for the group later on.
I don't know. I mean,
Charlie's dead
they
and
could
Dan's
have done
alive.
more with her.
Annoying character.
They still could have done more.
Dakota was
That's not
just
really
an annoying
excuse,
character, in my opinion. I mean, she was just an annoying character. The way she talked, and just like it seemed like the actress kind of put a lot of emotion into everything. She's like, whenever she said, "Oh, did you do that? You just for me to turn that key." The way she said it, I was just like, "Geez." I mean, she tried really hard. And
Hey guys, so I'm confused about this too. What do you guys think about the whole Teddy actually did not plan to die? He planned to just go underneath that bunker in the ground and turn the key again to release the rest of the nukes. Like, what did you guys think about that? Does that feel like a retcon?
Yes, because I'm like, okay, you have this random bunker in the middle of nowhere, but then again, that raises the question, like, okay, there's stuff under the bunker, but there's the question though, like, okay, how is it connected to the submarine? Like, how is it really connected? Like, connection wise, like how is it connected?
No.
And how is that supposed to work? That's what I'm saying. Like how is that supposed to work?
I think they were outside the Tramlin Hotel. I thought they were outside the Tramlin Hotel, and it was just another opening to the same bunker that Alicia was in under the Tramlin Hotel. Because I thought that's where they were outside of. That's because like, what other bunker did he know about? Because I thought that the only bunker he knew about was the one underneath the hotel that Alicia's in.
Hey Brian.
Yeah.
In a way, this finale actually kind of ruins that new little spin-off thing that they had planned for the
Oh yeah,
submarine.
Dead in the Water. Yeah, why should we yeah, thanks Epic. Great question or comment. Why should we watch Dead in the Water? What's the point of watching Riley's backstory
It has
now?
Riley in it. It has Riley in it.
I
Dude
know.
from episode 1 is going to be in it too. Walter, the guy that gets killed.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, if that's the case, why watch it? Because we all know what happens to Walter and Riley. They both die. So why watch it? Why watch Dead in the Water? Why even review Dead in the Water if we know what's going to happen with these characters? I mean, sure, it's a prequel, but why?
I'm pretty sure Teddy will show up at the end. I feel like Teddy will show up at the end. And maybe we'll see why, Riley actually just lost his mind and just became one of Teddy's followers,
That is very possible.
I don't know how I would feel about it though. That's the thing. I know it's gonna be a prequel, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. Like, why watch it? Why watch this prequel spinoff why watch this prequel little mini series if we know what happens to Teddy, if we know what happens to Walter, and if we know what happens to Riley? If you know what I mean, like why? I don't know.
Hey guys,
Hey, Walker Dead.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing with Red Dead Redemption 2. Even though that game's a masterpiece, like we still know what happens to John, Dutch, Bill, and all them.
Well, why?
I mean,
why
Red
read?
Redemption 2 is different than Fear the Walking Dead.
Well,
Red Redemption 2 is not a zombie apocalypse game.
why read like history books and stuff about World War II? Because like it's interesting, and like obviously we already know lots of people died and what happened, but it's interesting. So I guess that's what they're doing. They're hopefully going to make Dead in the Water interesting.
yeah, but if it
I don't
doesn't,
know,
then that's a
though.
big fail. So that's it's a risk.
They gotta get me. If they're gonna do Dead in the Water, one of the best prequel spin-offs in the whole Walking Dead TV series universe, it has to catch my attention. It has to get me, because if the trailer, like say if they release the trailer and if the trailer doesn't get me sucked in, then I'm not interested in seeing what they have in store for Dead in the Water.
Well, yeah,
Because
because I mean,
not
it's
sucking
already
me in.
it's a recycled theme, which is that the dead are they're still dangerous even in the water if you're swimming in there. Kind of like from season 2 of Fear. That was something that was interesting, was when they're on that boat, and everything that was in the water, that there was dead in the water. And I feel like that this webisode would be kind of like a recycled theme from season 2 of Fear.
I feel like Dead in the Water means like for the show or for the little minisode. I think it means like the humans are gonna be dead, like not actually dead, but like trapped in the water in the submarine.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that this Dead in the Water doesn't turn into a Flight 462 or whatever that shit was. And
I liked that actually, but they just we never found out what happened to that character.
Like all of that was just pointless.
We never found out
it
what
was
happened to that
okay,
girl.
but
We never found out what happened to that girl, though.
She's
We know
probably
that kid, that kid, his face was burnt off. I liked that kid. I thought he'd be an interesting character to interact with Madison and Nick, but that they just had to where he was too fucked up in the face just to walk out of that totally alive. It's not like Dwight. That was like even worse of a burn than what Dwight got.
Oh, hey guys. Sorry.
And also it's just that I wish that they could pull another Morales and bring back a character from season 1 that we haven't seen since, and they could bring back the character from Flight 462. They can bring back Proctor John. They could bring back Taka if they get the actor to do it. Probably not other characters, because there's a lot of characters that they never really explained what happened to them. So many, I feel like.
I mean, if you're gonna bring back
characters
Proctor
not
John, you make him the villain.
Hey guys, what did you think about the whole Dwight and Sherry thing? They find that house and they look around, find nothing. At first, they talk a little bit, and then that random family just comes out of nowhere, and then they find out that the end is the beginning group took their storm cellar, and then they get it back, and
it was kind of rushed.
Yeah, it was so rushed,
Walker.
and also we're not going to see that family again, are we? Like they're not going to be in season 7.
Hey, Dead Walker.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why The Walking Dead keeps doing this. They keep on having episodes building something, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. Like even Telltale's The Walking Dead game with 400 days. I despise that episode with passion.
Okay, but here's the thing though. In season 7, we could get something even new. Is that we could get an entire episode just underground in the bunker, be kind of like Bunker Life, kind of like Fallout, the series, it'd be kind of from Fallout 3 when you're the kid and you're in the bunker, I just feel like that could be something cool. Is that maybe The Walking Dead shows us that there's a huge community of people in bunkers around, under the ground or whatever. It'd be kind of funny if they start trading with the people and it's just all underground, be kind of funny. But
I don't think they can't pull it off. I don't see how they can pull that off.
Maybe one episode, but not full season.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
That's one big pet peeve I have with the Walking Dead franchise is how, some properties will have episodes that lead to nowhere, especially Telltale with what they did 400 days.
Yeah. I absolutely agree.
Did any of y'all get the episode leaked? Because Dakota's death got spoiled for me because someone like leaked the episode and one of the videos said Dakota's death scene.
I only saw a CRM helicopter. That's what I saw. That got leaked.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Guys, I'm back. Something.
I hate this, but I have a feeling. One second, Epic. I have a feeling that Isabel is just gonna drop those characters off in the helicopter, and then like we're just not gonna get CRM in the premiere of season 7.
That's literally exactly what they're gonna do.
Yeah, of course. I hate that so much. Like CRM, the Doomsday Group, it all just means nothing. There's like literally no point to it in the story besides separating our characters. It's a plot device. That's all it is instead of a story. Like it's just I hate it.
Fear the Walking Dead,
They
like
did that
almost
every single
season.
season, separating the characters.
Yeah, because they
like,
want to milk this. They want to milk the
except for
show.
season 1. Except for season 1, but season 2 they separated. Season 3 they separated. Season 4 they magically got back together for some reason. Then they separated again. Season 5 they separated for a little bit.
Yeah, Epic.
I guess that's a big issue with World Beyond. World Beyond was supposed to be like a CRM introduction show, and they kind of underutilized them in that show.
Well, here's the thing: is I feel like the first season was just exploring more of the characters, and I feel like season 2 is going to be all CRM and Rick stuff. Maybe I just that's my thing because I still have high hopes for it. I don't think it's going to end all bad because I just think season 1 was kind of just fleshing out the characters and just what their story was.
Exactly, because we wouldn't have really cared about them as much.
Yeah.
I still don't care about them, but at least they try.
Yeah, exactly. Man, I just don't know. I don't like the idea of Fear the Walking Dead going past the main show or World Beyond. I feel like they should just end it around the same time. I really think it's the best idea right now with how it's going. The
I
ratings.
feel like they should end it at 11 seasons. I mean, if they're gonna do something, end it at 11 seasons, just like the main show. If they really want to make it that, side by side with it.
But I don't see it going 11 seasons though, because I'm like, okay, by season 11, Andrew Chalice and Ian Goldberg are still going to be like the showrunners, and I'm like, I don't want that because look at Fear the Walking Dead season 4B and season 5 and season 6B. Where did the season go? Like, where did the story go? Nowhere. It didn't go nowhere because they're writing shitty material.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Out of all the seasons of Fear the Walking Dead, from season 1 all the way to season 6, what is the best season of the show so far?
Season 3.
3 probably.
People say it's overrated. People say it's overrated, but I think the main reason why that season, the only problem I have is that they kill too many people off.
And now they don't kill enough.
With Ophelia and Travis, I understood because I just wanted to leave the show.
Troy was stupid. They should have brought him back.
Some people say that they killed Troy because
season 4.
Some people, I don't think they should because they would have ruined Troy. But some people say that they killed Troy because Dave didn't want the other showrunners to ruin him and some stuff like that.
They didn't what?
No, that's not the case. Like from what I heard, Dave Erickson wanted to kill off Troy. Like he had sure he probably was like, your character's gonna live to season 4, but then at the last minute he's like, you know what, I'm gonna kill this character off. Which in my opinion, I disagree with that because Troy was a popular character in Fear season 3.
He was.
My opinion,
I didn't like his death. Like, really, for him to just die like that.
Yeah, but it does a lot for
just
Madison and Nick's story.
I understood why his brother died or why his dad died was for his character development, but I feel like his death in the Fear the Walking Dead season 3 finale kind of just ruins that.
Yeah, but it does a lot for Madison and Nick.
Blame Madison. I mean, she just killed.
I mean, it hurts more of Nick because Nick was friends with Troy.
Some people were saying that Daniel was going to find his body and find out he was still alive and then, take him.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm kind of glad Troy died because if he lived to season 4, they probably would have turned him into a pacifist.
Yep.
Oh
Daniel
wow,
would
I
have
Troy
don't
Payne.
know.
killed.
I
Actually,
mean,
Daniel would
to
have
be
killed
honest with you
Daniel,
guys, Dave Erickson just should have just stayed as showrunner for Fear season 4, and they should have just had Troy in there. Hell, they should have just had Lola from the Dam be in there.
What would have been better for season 4 since they all split up instead of them randomly finding each other. If they were gonna kill Nick and Madison off, what they could have done is just left their story open ended and like maybe like when they split up they never find Nick something. They just should have left their story open ended just in case they wanted to come back.
Hey guys,
Yes.
I know this is controversial, but me personally, I prefer Fear seasons 1 to 3 over 4, 5, and 6.
Definitely.
I feel like more people prefer that than 4,
Yeah,
5, and 6.
I prefer that more than Fear the Walking Dead season 4 because Fear season 4 is shitty.
I mean,
It's a
first half,
shitty season.
first half,
The story went absolutely nowhere.
first half of season 4 is okay. Second
Yeah,
half,
but the second half is not good at all. The
It's
second half
alright.
just had Martha there, and Martha was a shitty villain, and they were doing absolutely nothing. And in the second half of season for Fear Walking Dead, and then Fear Walking Dead season 5 is all about helping people, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. It made no sense. Having Fear season 5 helping people the whole season, like really, you're gonna do
The
something like that?
Hey, Walker
The
Dead.
dumbest thing is just Morgan not going
What?
back to Alexandria. Like that's just so
Hey, Walker Dead.
What's up?
The reason I prefer seasons 1 to 3 over 4, 5, and 6 is because those 3 seasons, like, I started watching season 1 when I was 17 years old. So, yeah, I was kind of used to that cast, whereas 4, 5, and 6 are all just not very good. So I prefer the first 3 seasons.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
you know what's funny? In the beginning, Fear had so few characters. Like it just had like Travis for a little bit, you know, in his family, and then Daniel and his family, and then the Clarks, and then they got rid of so many of them. It was a small cast, and then now in Fear we have too many characters. And in Fear we have too many characters right now. They're not killing off anybody. Like, I mean, like we have Charlie who doesn't do pretty much. She barely did anything this season. Luciana did absolutely nothing for like the third season.
Althea
in a
did
row.
nothing this season either. Althea was just in like 1 or 2 episodes.
Hey,
Althea did
they're
nothing.
also saying that the kids are going to return next season because they didn't do it this season because of COVID.
Oh
Hey,
no,
Brian.
no, that's a terrible excuse.
no,
they
they're
should
not
be
gonna
dead
do
from
that.
the nuke. They should be dead
Hey,
from the
Brian.
nuke. Yeah.
Like, one thing you have to applaud season 6 of Fear is at least they killed characters off, unlike The Walking Dead season 10 killed no one off.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Which-
they killed off
did,
Sadiq
but-
and Alpha, so.
They only killed off one character on like our side though.
they did kill a lot of people off. They were just
I mean,
minor
that was
characters,
fine
like
because in 9 they killed off a whole bunch of people.
Laura, Gamma, Beta, Alpha. I can't think of it. Earl. Those are minor characters, but I mean, there's not many characters we really care about that they can kill off. Like the only characters I really care about is Carol, Daryl, and Negan. They can't kill them off. I don't care about Rosita. I don't care about Gabriel. Don't care about.
I mean, I care about Rosita more than Gabriel, to be honest with you. Even though
Ga-
Gabriel's okay, but Rosita
Gabriel's
is
gonna die.
better.
Gabriel is going to die. I
The only
guarantee
character
that.
I
Actually, you
care
can't really confirm that. You can't confirm that because it's not confirmed. However, I do see him dying towards the end. I see somebody killing him.
So
I think he
Some
might
people
be
are like, "Oh, why don't they just give him Rick Grimes comic book back?"
Yes.
Hey, Brian.
That'd be better because
Yeah.
at least it'll be more impactful. You know.
Brian, would you say that's one big flaw with season 10 was just how light it was in terms of deaths?
Yes, absolutely. Especially with the 6 extra episodes, season 10 was just way too light on the deaths. We needed either Rosita, Ezekiel, Gabriel to die, just one of those characters
Okay,
for that extra punch.
Can I explain this one thing? Because I asked the same thing, but now that I think about it, I think what they should have did is just I could have waited. They just shouldn't have done it. But the reason why they didn't kill anyone is because they already wrote season 11 before they did the bonus episode, so they couldn't say they wrote something for Rosita, they couldn't kill her because they already wrote something for her. They would have to redo all that, so they had to just make filler because
I know, but they couldn't have killed off Scott or somebody. It's not like he has a scene in season 11 that's notable, right?
Gabriel should have died in episode 16.
They should have just killed off but they could. Only thing they could have done is kill off a minor character, which we wouldn't have cared about.
I know I stopped watching the show after John Dory died, but at least Fear the Walking Dead had the balls to kill off a major character like that.
I really
but he
like
wanted to
John
leave, though.
Dory, honestly, but
It's I think a fear is more realistic because in all reality, all these characters aren't going to die in a big, spectacular, meaningful way. They're going to die in a realistic way, getting shot in the chest, getting bit.
well, I mean that's what I said about with The Walking Dead. When people got mad about people getting killed, it's like in real life, if The Walking Dead was like more realistic, almost all of them would be dead by now.
Like, yeah, Rick would be dead from in season 9. Like, Rick actually would have died from that. But I'm just saying that, like, sometimes the plot armor is just a bit much, and sometimes they give us a shocking death like John's, and it does work. But I don't get why certain characters, survive. Like, even minor characters. Like, yeah, I get minor characters. We're not going to care too much. But the show's roster is getting so big. Like, it's hurting the budget. I mean, they really got to trim the fat on both shows.
Hey, Brian.
Well, John Doyle's actor Garrett Dillahunt, he's an expensive actor, so they couldn't keep him on because he would have wanted more money. I think his contract was up.
Hey, Brian.
I mean, the actor wanted to leave, so I mean, maybe he wanted to do other things. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
He's
The
in Army
person
of
who
the
plays
Dead.
John Dory did not want to
We'll
leave.
never know.
Army of the
Brian.
Dead.
Yeah, Pick?
I mean, yeah, he was in Army of the Dead. Probably wanted to do other stuff.
Brian, I find it so ironic how the main show's cast is getting smaller and smaller, but Fear's cast is just getting bigger and bigger.
Kind of, yeah. By the way, guys,
I don't really care. I mean, with the Fear cast getting bigger and bigger, I don't really mind that because people were complaining that all the season 1 characters of Fear the Walking Dead were so small, and now we're getting more characters, which I don't really mind because. Again, if you have like very little characters, like say like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 characters, I mean, it could get a little annoying. Like, why are we just focused on these 8 characters when you can introduce somebody else or introduce more?
With the little characters, you
Can't do
give
the
them
same
more.
thing.
You give them more story, but then with bigger characters like this, there's no story for Charlie or Luciana or anything.
I mean, with Charlie, she can go. With Luciana, it's different because with Luciana, they can give her a bigger story. They don't have to have her there doing nothing.
I know. I'm just saying, with a bigger
the
cast,
new
it's harder.
showrunners don't care about these characters like we do. They don't care.
Yeah, Ian and Andy wrote this episode. I looked it up, and man, does it show. I mean, my goodness.
Exactly. They don't care.
Ian and Andy wrote this episode. No wonder it's shit.
Yeah, hey guys,
Who?
in 10 more minutes, I got to end the stream. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up.
Anyway, Brian, do you want to talk about Dan's Fear the Walking Dead rewrites?
Oh, sure. Man, I was not expecting.
I'm loving it.
He killed off Charlie. Like, wow. Like, just like that. Like, that's crazy.
Wait, who? Wait, what do you mean? What?
In Dan's rewrites, he killed off Charlie in the very first episode. Like in the series.
How did she die?
I mean, do you want to watch it yourself? Like, and find out?
I
Like,
think you should
not
watch
really.
it. I think you're gonna love it. It's really good. I recommend it. If you want to check out something on YouTube, Dan's rewrites is the thing you need to watch. It's really good. I'm telling you right now, you will not regret it.
yeah, you're gonna wish it was the canon story.
Walker Dead.
I mean,
Hey, Walker Dead.
sounds like Dan's review is really like Nick.
Hey, Walker Dead.
But he couldn't do anything with him though. That's the thing.
Walker Dead.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel that Charlie isn't as bad as Dakota was because at least Charlie had some remorse for what she did to Nick, whereas Dakota had no remorse for what she did to John.
I mean, with Charlie, she didn't really do anything for the group. So with Dakota, she was willing to do something for the group. So of course, you can see the differences between the two. But with Charlie, she didn't do anything for the group. I mean, sure, she saved Alicia, but it wasn't enough.
No, well, Charlie does.
She didn't redeem
do stuff
herself
for
properly, and I feel like these new showrunners just wanted people to get pissed off over
Charlie
the
is
fact that, like, hey, the killer that killed Nick got away with murder, and it is still around. You guys want to watch the show? And some people are like, no, this character killed Nick. Why is she on the show if she's not going to redeem herself or she's not going to do anything for the crew?
well,
It makes no sense.
Charlie as the character is actually doing stuff for the group. You see her helping out with Daniel and all that stuff, but it's just the writers not giving her story. But like if like their world was real, she's actually doing stuff and helping out and doing all that stuff.
Hey,
I mean,
Their
guys,
world
Dan,
is real life,
It's just
yes.
we don't see it.
in-
We just don't see it.
Has Dan done any other rewrites besides the second half of season 4?
he
Yeah,
did
he
he
season
has the
7.
Walking Dead season 7 rewrite.
Hey, Dead
Oh
Walker.
yeah. Who does he kill off in that besides
Hey,
other
He killed
Dead
off
Walker.
Heath, Tara. He killed off Simon because he did the second half all out war. But I recommend you watching it for yourself
Okay.
before
Hey,
asking us because
Hey guys. Also in Dan's rewrite, he completely took out the Martha story arc. Like it's just gone.
yes, I'm like thank you and the kids, which I was
Yeah.
surprised. I didn't really.
I wasn't surprised. Those kids have been one of the most ridiculous things in Fear. They were missing throughout all of season 6. They weren't even mentioned, and like it's clear how much the writers cared about the stories when they were making.
Hey, Walker Dead.
Yeah.
Like that definitely shows that Ian and Andy don't care about the fans. The fact that they made us suffer through Martha.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Ian and Andrew aren't Fear the Walking Dead. They aren't. They're the ones. To me, they're the ones that made Fear the Walking Dead bad.
Hey guys,
They killed off Nick, killed off Madison, and Fear the TV series version. But I mean,
And then they showed us the backstory of Martha too, and that was just like something we just did not want.
hey Chosen.
I know, right? We didn't want this character's backstory. We don't care.
Hey Chosen, I remember in your reviews for Dan's rewrites, you mentioned how when they did the plane stuff to go after Logan, how they still do that and they leave their base undefended, like no one's there. And you say that I think you remember saying that's kind of stupid of the characters, even in the rewrites, and I do agree with that. That part still just feels so off to me in both versions, like that the characters all went on the plane to find this Logan guy, and then they left their base undefended. Like I don't know.
Talk about how like they all just survived without any injuries other than Luciana. Like they should all be on fire and burning to death. It's a plane crash.
Yeah, just look at Fly 462.
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
that right there just proves how much the plot armor is really, there in the story. But with Dan's rewrites, the whole plane thing, I didn't really mind because it felt fresh. It felt better. It was better than the way Ian and Andrew did it in the TV series version of Fear.
You know, that
He really made you care for John Dory, Luciana Morgan, Alicia. He really made you care about the characters. But with Ian and Andrew, they just shitted on the characters and were trying to make you dislike the characters.
For me,
He did a rewrite of season 5.
He's rewriting season 5. Like
Oh,
he's,
yeah,
he's,
I know.
he's
Season
taking
4
story. He's taking story.
He's rewriting season 4 B, but he's adding story from season 5.
So it's like 4 and 5 together.
That's what he's doing.
You know what's funny? When Dan, yeah, Epic.
Who do you think is the best Walking Dead YouTuber?
That is a tough question to answer.
It used to be Trev Chan, but not anymore. It's probably Movie Idol or Make a Path, probably.
I don't think Make a Path doesn't really do Walking Dead too often. He does like one Walking Dead a week.
It used to be Zeus Tuber, but then he disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to
college.
him?
I think he's in college.
Yeah, well, actually, I thought that it was because he kept getting copyright stuff on The Walking Dead.
I mean, it's maybe, I don't know. It kind of stinks that these Walking Dead YouTubers are just disappearing all of a sudden, like because they were the main guys years ago,
Well, who are the main right now? It was like Trev Chan.
The main guys I watch now is Dan, Epic, Chosen. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, just you guys for the most part. because
you watch my content. You told me you watched my content.
What about Mega Matt 1254?
um I I didn't get a chance. I don't get a chance to watch his streams, because like honestly I'm sleeping by the time he does them, and I think Matt he mostly does yeah, Matt's very busy. He does his writing, survival of the fittest and all that. So I don't recall if he does fear reviews. I think he just does streams like me for the most part. I'm trying to think.
I usually watch Movie Idol, PT Channel, George Drake.
George Drake, I don't like him because George Drake does misleading. Like in his
Oh, yeah.
thumbnails and in his titles, he's misleading
Thing
when
is-
there's no confirmed facts.
Thing is, yeah,
it's misleading.
You see his titles and you
Because
know
in one of his
it's
titles,
cap.
he says it says confirmed Morgan, blah blah
Yeah.
blah, or confirmed this, confirmed that, when nothing has been confirmed by anybody.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
Movie Idol's okay, but Movie Idol was saying that the whole second half was good.
That's just his
finale
opinion, though.
was decent. He said season 6 episode 15 was a real good episode, and I'm like, I disagree there because there's a lot of problems with season 6 episode 15. And Dan tells the truth. Dan doesn't sugarcoat anything.
hey guys.
Dan just straight up told the truth, like why he disliked season 6 episode 15 of Fear
Well,
season 6.
That was
And
Movie
I
Idol's
respect
truth.
that because it's not like
Hey
a
guys.
YouTuber like George Drake where he's misleading.
Walking Dead YouTubers that I watch are Dan, Brian, Dude Guys, and stuff, guys like that.
Yeah.
But
you guys-
anyway, Brian, who do you think Dan's gonna add next in his Fear of the Walking Dead rebites?
Well, we know that John Proctor is the villain. He's got those three new characters. He added. He took out the kids, Martha. I think he's just going to not do Virginia and Logan, and then he's gonna. I think he's gonna have Proctor John
he
be
should
the
do
villain.
Virginia. With Logan, he doesn't have to do Logan, but with Virginia and Dakota, he doesn't have to make them villains. Like I suggested, like I'm like, okay, if you're gonna do Virginia and Dakota, don't have them as villains, have them as allies to Morgan and the crew. Like have Virginia and Dakota help Morgan and Alicia and the others take back their community from the Proctors. That'd be pretty cool. Like imagine a scene between Virginia and Proctor John. That'd be pretty cool. Something that the TV series Virgin never did.
Yeah. Hey guys. So it's been an hour and a half. I do have to end the stream right here. So I want to let you guys know that, and I want to thank you guys so much for talking with me for this episode, for this stream. Yeah, Epic. Last question. All right, guys,
I just
take care.
want to say that do you plan on picking up The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 1 DVD or Blu-ray today?
I do not. No. I do not plan on getting it. But thanks for the question, man. And yeah, guys, I will talk to you guys next time. My next stream should be about the CRM. I'm not sure if it'll be later this week or like the next Monday or Tuesday. I'll try to let you guys know beforehand. If Mondays or Tuesdays work for you guys, because I think you guys said Tuesdays.
Hey, Brian.
Oh, okay, yeah, Epic. Last question, and then I really have to end it.
What are your plans on streams now that Fear Season 6 is over?
I plan on streaming. This is tough. I'm almost at 100. I plan on streaming, doing a stream on Welcome to the Tombs, and then but before that, the CRM one, and then maybe I want to do something special for stream 100, and I also want to do a stream about my Extinction series. Like I don't know if you guys have read it at all. I mean, I know Walker Dead did, but I don't know if the rest of you guys have. Because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still watching season 2, and I gotta admit, it's really good, man.
Oh.
Or you could do a stream on my Walking Dead reboot series because I'm actually filming the double mid-season finale pretty soon. So if you want, you could do a stream about that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can definitely do streams where we can talk about your reboot series, if you want.
Walker Dead.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Okay. Yeah, guys. So I really have to end the stream right here. You guys can, talk, keep talking afterwards if you want. It's perfectly fine. But I do have to leave here and do some stuff. So yeah, guys. Thank you.